What a gwan, peeps, what a gwan. Good morning, ladies, good morning. Do you know what? Today, for some reason, I was drawn to the Akashic Records. And if you don't know what the Akashic Records are, I'm going to give you a little tiny explanation because it's a big subject. But basically, the Akashic Records and the word Akashic comes from the original word kasha, which is a word that has come from the Sanskrit of time, which is a Buddhist term. And I didn't even know this, and I'm into niches in Buddhism. But basically, it's almost like the book of life in the Bible. It's an access to what is going to happen to you in the past, present, and future. And basically, this is here and been pulled out the Akashic Records to give you some help along the way to actually access the Akashic Records. So, for some reason, I was drawn to pull all these cards, and I pulled three, the Four of Scrolls. And just to explain, this is actually a tarot deck, but it's all to do with the Akashics and what it's pulled out for yourselves. And I'd actually pulled these for the collective. So the first card is the Karmic Trench. And this card is all about the habits that you keep doing and you've taken over generation after generation. It's things that you've got to break and come out of that Akashic trench. And that means that there's habits or things that you're doing over and over again that you need to break out of. Because, it's not good. So you have to be mindful of these things. And this is actually a message from Spirit that there's habits we all have that we need to break out of, so that we can actually further our spiritual paths and add to our Akashic Records. The second card I pulled is called Spring Autumn, and this is all about you harvesting, or about you sowing seeds. Now, because this card is upright, it's all to do with spring, and spring is when you plant those seeds and you sow, you start sowing what you want to develop in the future. This is all about being mindful about what seeds you sow, because they will result in good things. You have to think about what you're sowing. So if you're working on some endeavors, if you're working on things that, things that you set the seeds on, watch them grow. This is what the Spring Autumn card is all about. And the last card I pulled, which is actually came in the reverse, is called the Sands of Time. Now, upright, this is you watching time ticking away. Things are going way too fast. But in the reverse, you can take your time about sowing your seeds. So they all relate, really. Get out of that mindset. Sow those seeds and watch them grow, because you have time. But I looked at the bottom of the deck and I couldn't resist it. And look, we've got the Lookout. Now, the Lookout, this is a major arcana in this actual deck. They're slightly different, but what it's all about is that you've got to keep in mind all those challenges or oppositions you have. Be aware of them and look out for them, basically. But what I'm going to do is read one of these, and I think I'm going to read the Spring Autumn so you completely understand, because the rest of it will make sense to you then. Habits that you need to break in order to actually do this, to sow your seeds and to watch them grow, but be aware of challenges. So let's read that one for you. Okay, so it says, for the Four of Forces, it says Spring and Autumn. The Spring card upright shows a budding tree and flowers beginning to bloom. It's one of the seasonal cycle cards, and it indicates that you are entering a time of planting and active preparation. Just as the spring is a very full time for the farmer who's tilling the ground and planting his crop, so let yourself put in a little more effort now as you lay the groundwork for the time ahead. This is why this card is here as well. This could be a very creative period for you. Take action in creative projects or work-related endeavors that require more time and attention. The work you do now could yield great rewards later. Make sure you engage in this extra activity with joy and optimism. You are always planting your energy into the Akashic Records of life. So as you work towards your goals, remember to plant hope and happiness along with all the action you take. Do you understand, collective, where this is going? those habits, the procrastination, those habits that you just keep doing over and over again. If you're not mindful, it's going to affect what the seed you've sown. I certainly have projects in the background that I should really be working on, but I haven't at the moment because, yes, they do take time. But what Spiriting is saying is take your time and do it. Take your time and make it as perfect as you can. But be aware of the challenges along the way. And you know what as well? I'm going crazy now. But for some reason, I wanted to draw an extra card just as a loving gesture, as something that is, and it's from the Journey of Love. I just don't know why I pulled this one as well, but it might all relate to everything else that's going on here. And look, it's called loving all that is. And this could be relatable to you as well. So I'm going to read the passage for this one as well. So let's have a look. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. Please forgive me. So I'm going to plant this here because it's a beautiful card as well. Loving all that is. And I'm going to read this passage to you because I love it. I don't know why I pulled this extra as well. But maybe I'm thinking to actually put this one out there because normally it's just for the Patreons. But I thought this one is such an important message that I might put it out there and hopefully some other people will come and join us because I do these on a daily basis on Patreon. So this one is called Loving All That Is, and it's a bit of a wordy passage, but it might make sense to you, okay? It says, you wise awakening being, you can love all that is. You can love your tears and your sadness, for they are a testament to your open heart. You can love your numbness and fatigue, for they show that you have worked hard and are now in need of rest. You can love your energy and passion, even when you are so far ahead of the pack, you have to wait a while for everyone else to catch up. Maybe a day, maybe a decade or so, because you choose not to curb your enthusiasm for anyone. You can love your anger because underneath its fire, it's a desire for respect, and you can love your peacefulness because within your heart, you really don't care much for fighting sometimes. If there is something that is shaming you, worrying you, challenging you, and this is about this as well, the lookout, challenges, that's why it relates. Things that challenge you, it's okay to just love it. You will make sense when it needs to. Until then, just love it, even when it hurts, for it's part of your own divine nature awakening. It may just be a painful cramp happening because it's been curled up for far too long. This oracle brings you a sweet message. You can just ask, oh sorry, I have to turn the page. You are just asked. Love. Everything else will take care of itself. A state of being, allowing, receiving, becoming one with all that is. I hope all that made a sense to you people, because they all actually kind of relate, don't they? You know, at the end of the day, you've got to love yourself first. Love all your flaws. Even with the habits that you might need to break, you have to love yourself enough to actually do that. Love all that is. Okay, so I hope that meant something to you, and I hope you enjoyed that message. I might put this one out there today, as I said, on YouTube, because I have to upload them to YouTube anyway. But if you do get this message and you enjoyed it, please join us on Patreon, because I do these every single day. Okay, and it's, I pull from, it's usually oracle cards, because I'm not called Valerie's Naturals Oracles for nothing. I love an oracle card because they give a direct message. So, come and join me on Patreon, where you'll get daily messages, you'll get the daily videos, you'll get the weekly live streams, where we do all sorts of things. I think today, it's Friday today, so today, it looks like, and from the poll I did on Patreon, it looks like everybody wants reading, so it might just be a night of reading. So come along and find out what is actually going on, because it looks like I'm going to be doing some mini readings today. So if you've not subscribed yet, why not hit the subscribe button and the alert bell so you know when I'm going to do another video. This is very rare for me to put this one out there, but I just thought it was important because it's such a good message that people need to be aware of. So love and light, people, love and light.